Hi everyone, welcome to the 9th edition or the 9th stream in the series. So I'm going to be going over the same application as you know and from the thumbnail and title. So this is on my GitHub, so Gwen F, and then you can go to my regex breakfast repo. It's also linked below in the description. So yeah, there's some information about it and a mock-up in the README. I've also been adding issues, what bugs I need to fix, and some other updates, features I could add, and then a list of challenges that need to be implemented. Hey Abriso, how are you? Good to see you again. So, aw man, you're such a good participator. All right, nobodies, I'll see you next time. I'll be on Thursday, so I'm pretty busy the next couple days, but I should be on around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Thursday again. So I hope you can make it to that one. So, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so this is the first one I'm going to tackle today, so the full text array. And this was the bug that came about from changes we made last time. Not really a bug, but just something we haven't updated yet in the code. Oh yeah, so challenges. And we changed this full text to be an array last time. Awesome, see you then. We changed this to be an array last time, but let me, oops, keep opening Alfred. Let's open the body and where is it? We have full text. This next challenge method that validates when the user wants to submit for the next challenge. It doesn't work anymore because it's broken. Because it's so not to match dot replace. So I'm using that here, not to match. I'm basically setting it equal to full text array. And then I'm replacing, or I'm basically setting it equal to full text. And since this was a string, all I was doing before was looping through the to match array and then doing like a text string replace here. But since this is now an array as well, or full text is an array as well, so I'm going to have to, let's see. So full text, I think I'm going to have to make another loop there, but let me kind of walk through this in my head and see. So full text, this is all one, but for some of them, which one is it? So this one, I'm using an array with different items because I want the learners to use the beginning of the string matcher. And so each of these are treated as separate strings so they can just match what's at the beginning of each one and we can check it. So So just match this and even more than that. So, okay. So one of the problems is that like this word Vermont here, we're using at the beginning of this string, but at the end of this string, and we only want to use it or want to count it valid if it's at the beginning of the string. So how do we tell our function that this isn't a valid match, but this is a valid match? And then this is a valid match. So this is a lot more complicated than what we currently have here. So I think not only will we have to loop through these and check, we need some kind of okay, so I think toMatch will have to be an array that matches this, unless someone else has a better idea. But I think that what I'm going to, because this array has 4 items in it, this full text array. And so I think I'm going to have to do this. And that seems like the simplest way to do what I want to do. And say that I want to match Vermont in the first one. I don't want to match anything in the second one. And then I want to match Vermont in the third one. And then I don't want to match anything in the fourth one. All right. So that looks good. I think a lot of the other ones okay. So here, this gets a little bit more complicated because toMatch is an array of 2 here, but full text is only 1 here. So, I mean, I could I wonder if I should use new lines here. And then break it up and check for each. What else could I do? .example.com. toMatch could be regex, and I could say I could put regex here, or instead of toMatch I could have regex that would match the right parts of this string, and then I could break off and then I could check that the user's regex also matched the same parts of the string. So those are the 2 options I think I have. And that might actually be better because I can use, what was that regex method? Not test. What was the other one I used? Maybe I took it out. That includes, I can't remember what it was. Oh, it might have been string.match regex, and then I could use it for both the user's regex and for the regex that I guess the regex that I'm using in the answer guide, teacher's regex. So if I had a regex pattern here, then I match it against full text, and then I compare it to what was matched by the user's regex. I think that's the easiest way to do it here, because if I do it like I was thinking here, I could match per string and the text, but then here I want to match both of these because they're 2 separate strings, but there's only 1 in this array. I think that's just way more complicated with more different cases I have to account for. So I think, yeah, what I'm going to do is replace I'm going to have to rename toMatch to pattern Yeah, I just have to. So let me find and replace, let's say to match, and then replace it with, it'll be patterns since it's an array. It has to be. So patterns. So actually, then it won't have to be patterns since the user can only type one thing in here. So why should I have multiple things of regex here? So to match, I could just get rid of the whole line there and then replace it with this. And then I'll have to manually enter the patterns, which I'm going to have to do anyways. Yeah, I think that is a good solution. Awesome. So let me replace all those. And now I'll put regex in all of these. So this one is easy because I just want them to match the characters. This one I will use the proper regex, so I'll put this one here. This one. All right. And then matching numbers. That's fine. Oh yeah, just adding a space in the middle. All right. And then this one is just matching the word. So maple is the word. So I guess you can just type in maple. That's fine. And then, okay, this one. Oh, did I say I was gonna yeah, pattern. I need to change pattern. Pattern. Oh no, I'm gonna have to do case sensitive there. Okay. No, patterns to pattern. Yeah. Because there's only gonna be one, so no reason to have it plural. Oh, and then this one is on the wrong side. Okay. So this one is match Vermont, but I want to match only at the beginning. So Vermont. I feel like this is going to be way easier than what I was doing before. Okay, and this one is, which one's this one? Match the last word. So this is syrup. So, and actually I'm going to do, since I'm doing first word like this, I'm going to have more things in the array here. Let me just go ahead and add one. I'm going to copy this. So, and now it'll only match syrup in the first one, not the second one, because I'm going to put a $sign here. And yeah, that should only match the last one. Oh, here. Am I in the right challenge? Yeah, match the last word, which is syrup. Okay. To match the word syrup. And I need to write some explanation here about using the $sign. And then, let's see, match subdomains. I'm actually going to copy paste regex that I've already written for that challenge because it's a little bit more complicated. Here it is. So this one matches subdomains but not regular domains, basically. And then hey everyone, hey Caesar. Wouldn't match Vermont. Let's see. So match first word, maple syrup. This one. So this would match Vermont here. Yeah, it's not supposed to. So I guess I didn't explain this well. So I'm putting strings in here that I don't want them to match to make sure that they're, matching the correct thing, because I only want them to match Vermont if it's at the beginning of the string. So some of these, yeah, like you said, won't match. So that won't match. This will match. And this one won't match. Or, sorry, the last one, this one won't match. Basically, if that makes sense. So syrup. Okay, and this one will only match in the first string in the array. And then subdomains, I put the pattern in. And then let's see, this plate. So here I'm going to do plate, and then I need the global flag basically. So it'll match both plates in that string. And then password requirements. I don't think I wrote out regex for this one already. Anyways, I don't even know if I want to call this password requirements, because this isn't like good password practice, but maybe I'll switch this to another challenge. At least 10 characters long. Yeah, so I'll leave that one alone for now and test out this on the rest. Maybe I'll just, no, I won't. I'll just leave that one alone. So here first, I'm going to go back through this whole method in the body.view. So when a user basically clicks enter, yeah, it's not working, but it'll run this next challenge method. And then first it checks if they're using forbidden patterns. So I don't let them use, for example, the dot, a period, because that's just too easy. I mean, they could just do this through all the challenges basically, or for a bunch of them. So I don't let them use the dot. So I check for that. So that's still working. And then here, I get the current challenge index. I create a regular expression from whatever the user has typed into these two boxes. And then I'm starting an unmatched array, which I'm going to have to move this. Oh, and then I'm setting valid to false. Okay. So first, what I was doing before was getting this, was seeing if they, basically if they matched anything that wasn't supposed to be matched. And then I would add it in this array. If anything is in the array, then valid would be false, and it basically wouldn't finish executing. So it would give them some kind of an error. So now that unmatched, or now that so what I have to update, full text is now an array, and now there's pattern instead of to match. So actually I have to come up here and pull in pattern instead. And where do I have to match? So I only have to match right here. Oh, here and here. Okay. So now that I have a pattern, so let me just get rid of this. So what do I have to do? I need to basically I want to see if they've matched something they weren't supposed to match. So I need to go through, this time I think I can loop through full text and then try to match the pattern against full text. So, okay. And I'm just going to do this. Yeah. So, not to match. Here. So I'm setting it equal to full text. Oh, and then I'm taking out the parts that, oh, right, that, okay. So I'm basically, here I would be taking out both plates because I'm supposed to match those. So it just leaves me with all the words that I'm not supposed to match, basically. So now if I loop through, so let me loop through this not to match array. And then for each item, I'm going to make a new regular expression, except I'm not going to make it from value. I'm actually going to use pattern, use the pattern and flags. So, okay, so here I'll use pattern and then flags. I don't know why I was doing G anyway. So let regular expression equal new regex pattern flags. Okay, so now I have the regular expression, and then so this won't work. So I'll basically have to get the index. So if I want to do it this way, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to end up, or I might refactor this, but if I want to do it this way in the not to match array, then I'm going to have to do not to match I, or the index of whichever one. So not to match I will update this array, but it will be equal to the value dot replace, because this is just a string. So value dot replace anything that the regex matches with an empty string. So I think that will come out with the right thing. I'm going to comment out everything else in here and just see how this does. So let's see. Not to match. Okay. Okay, so didn't work at all. So I'm doing a for each on not to match here. I'm getting the full text here. Let me just make sure. So if I'm on this challenge, I have full text and I have a pattern. I'm turning that pattern into regex with flags, don't have any flags. Yeah, let me put a debugger in here and see. All right. So I'm just going to type in part of it. All right. So I have not to match. then I have oatmeal. Okay. To match dot. Full text is oatmeal. So that's weird. Full text is, oh, this looks like it's an old version of the code. Let me refresh it. And yeah, sometimes it does this where I have to refresh or restart Webpack. So let me see what this does. Hi Robinson, how are you? Okay, that's better. Alright, so not to match is why? Okay, so values. Yeah, so yeah, not to match does for each. Okay, so the first value not to match is oatmeal. Dot replace. Oh, I see. I'm removing all of oatmeal because I'm doing it with that. So this is exactly what I want, actually. I was just confused because I thought, oh, as a user, it's just going to remove these 3 letters because I typed in these. But I'm not actually matching this up against the user's regex. I'm matching this up against the regex in the challenge. Okay. So this is working correctly. And that's probably more clear if I do it against a different challenge. Okay, so you refresh. So let me go to this one. Oh yeah, so I took out the log, but let me just console.log not to match there. Okay, so it didn't matter what I typed in here, but basically don't match Vermont or syrup. All right, so now the next thing is this piece. So it's basically okay, if there aren't any flags required for the challenge. Okay, so basically finding out if you're matching something that isn't supposed to be matched. I think. I'm not sure why I'm checking if there aren't any flags required for the challenge. So basically if they don't need something like a global flag, oh, okay, then just go ahead and put them into here. Otherwise, so if there are flags required, the user has to be using flags since they're required, and their user flags have to include the required flags. Okay, that makes sense. And then run this. Okay, so unmatched. So this is an array of stuff we don't, or this is a string of stuff we don't want them to match. And then this is an array of stuff they were supposed to match but didn't match. That's what the difference is here. So unmatched equals toMatch.filter. Okay, so I used to have an array, so this logic won't work anymore. So I basically need to loop through full text, save the pattern here, and then check that the user is matching this pattern. So I need a loop. So let's say full text dot map. No, dot filter. And then, so I guess it would be unmatched again. So, and then, so every iteration through the full text loop, I'm going to test the pattern against full text, test my I don't know, teacher manual pattern, whatever pattern I put in this file, which is the correct pattern. So I need to do string.match. So full text, so I'll do value. The value is a string dot match, and then I'll do value.match. Oh yeah, the regex. That's what I want. Pattern. But I need that to be, so I should actually put this outside of anything else. Am I using RE anywhere? Okay, so I'm gonna put this outside of anything else because I'm gonna be reusing this pattern, and now that I only have one, of course here now I have some naming oddities, so I could put correct. No, I don't want to put correct. I'll just put RE and then, or I'll say regex and then user regex. Okay. All right, so here I'll change this to regex, and actually here regex. Okay, so value.match regex, and I'm gonna save that. So .match should return an array. So I have matched. I need to call this something else. So value.match, because this is the default match, default matches, and then let user matches equal okay, so value.match, so user matches will have to equal value.match value.match, and then I'll do user regex here basically, and then I have to compare the two, I think. Value.match, yeah, because I'm matching them both against full text, if that makes sense. So 1 second. All right. So all right, so I have these two arrays, and then I want to make sure they all have the same properties, I guess, or the same values in them. So let me just I guess stop here and then see what these two end up being and see if it's what I expect. So yeah, let me refresh this. For some reason my computer's running really hot right now. All right. Let me get this one. Uncaught exception object. All right. Okay, so that looks good. I have exactly what I wanted in these arrays, and okay. And now I'm going to, okay, now I just need to compare both arrays, basically. So let me get rid of this, and then what's the best way that I should compare these? I really don't want to do another loop in here, but that would make it easy, and then I could just say, let me look at array methods. So array is sum an array method? Let's see, array.prototype.sum. Methods test whether at least one element in the array passes the test. Okay, but then inside of this, so I guess it would be the same thing. So inside of this, I would still be checking to see this array.sum. All right. So I could do like default matches.sum, and I don't think this is what I'm going to end up doing, but let me just type it. So then I would match .sum, but then I would have to loop through these anyway inside of sum. So yeah, so that's not a really good solution. So I think I will have to do another filter maybe inside. I could chain filters, but I really want to use these two arrays that I got, I guess. So unmatched. So maybe I don't want to do a filter here. Maybe I just want to do a for each and then get these two matches, like see what matches and then loop through one separately. For each. Okay. So I have unmatched. No, I really don't want, I don't want to call this unmatched. Let's see, what should I call it? Actually, I don't need to call anything if it's a for each, because this isn't returning a new array. So default matches equals an array, and then I'll do user matches too equals an array, and then get rid of the let. Okay, so now I'm defining these two up here and then setting them equal to whatever matched values they have, and then I need to filter, I think. So, or keep everything in body. Yeah, I do want to break this up. So there are a couple, I guess, options. So, because this file is getting so long, I could have functions I pull in like services, or I could try to use the new context API if I upgrade to Vue 3 when that comes out. But that would, for this, I think it would be basically the same thing because I don't need to add reactivity to it. So yeah, I think it would be a good idea to pull some of this stuff out of the component. And also I think I'll break up the DOM as well. Oh, this is old dead code. Let me get rid of that. Maybe. This isn't that long. I could break up the function or the DOM or both. But let me see. So I have default matches. I'm trying to think. So here I need to add things to unmatched. So I'll do default matches. So default matches is basically, that's basically what I want them to match. So their user matches should align with default matches. So if I do dot filter here, yeah, I could use a mixin. So what I've heard from the context API, well, actually mixins in general, is that I really don't think, I mean, they're not deprecated, but I don't think that they'll be used anymore in Vue 3, because it seems like they were kind of a solution to the same thing that the context API was proposing a solution to. But since I'm using Vue 2, then I can't use the context API anyway until it comes out. Unmatched default matches dot filter, and then so return. So here I can do user matches dot can I do dot sum? And then value. Let's see. So default matches is an array that I want them to match. So if I'm filtering the first part and then the user matches array, I'm saying if the value is found anywhere, return true. But that will give me unmatched. Oh yeah, did I say context API? I keep doing that. Yeah, I meant a composition API. So unmatched default matches dot filter value. Okay. And then dot sum. I actually don't know if this is going to work because I feel like I can't think right now. So if I'm looping through the array, I'm getting what I want them to match here. And then anything that they don't match, I'm returning into this unmatched array. So I'm returning any value. So I guess this would be not. But I still don't know if that works because this will return the value no matter where it is in the array. Let me test that and see. Unmatched. Yeah. So let me refresh. And oh. Okay, that's a forbidden pattern. Okay. So let me go into a different challenge. Oops. So match word and text. So oh, value is not a function. Where am I using value? So value is a string. Am I using value as a function? Oh, right. I have to pass a function in here. That's right. Okay. So I could return, then I have to do like x dot match sum. Wait. So if I'm passing in the string, this is basically a loop inside of a loop. So if I'm passing user matches dot sum, and then this will be the string. So if the string dot includes, should I do dot includes or no, because this is what part the user matched. So if this string, I think it should, I should say if it equals value. So let me see if that's better. All right, so unmatched. Oh, do I have a debugger? No, I don't. Oh, I'm still in there. Okay, so unmatched did come back with the correct thing of maple because I didn't match what I was supposed to match. So I'll have to test it later, but I think that works for now. And then I'm also checking if they match something that they weren't supposed to match. So it'll have to be user regex dot test not to match. So yeah, so that will check if it's valid or not, basically. So that takes us through most of it, and then basically all this if statement does is say if it's valid and there's nothing in the unmatched array, then go ahead and move them to the next challenge, give them a success message, and then if it's not valid, yeah, then give them the error message. Let me just see if it works real quick. So it doesn't give them the error message. Let me see. So here, let me, I guess, set it here first. And I'll go back. And then also I'll have to do this next time, but I have to check for these multiple challenges with these multiple strings, because I'm going to have to do some more fixing to make those work. But let me get this one for now. Okay. So this one, so unmatched is correct. And then, okay, so this is old again. I have to refresh it. All right, so now let me do this. So that does match what's in the not to match array. So valid remains false, which is good. Yeah, so let me play. So incorrect answer. So I think I just didn't refresh it. Let me see if this actually works. Get rid of this. And, all right. All right, it doesn't show the success message though. So yeah, I think next time I'm gonna have to fix the multiple challenges, this one, and then I'll have to finish debugging this function and see why it's not showing the snack messages. But that's all for today. I have to be somewhere in like 30 minutes. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you later. Bye.